Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new edition of our online interview series. We want to get an update today of Maple Gold Mines, and Matthew Hornor, the CEO, is here with us. Good morning to Canada. How are you?
Great, Johan. You're looking great. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you, Matthew. Thank you very much. I'm a shareholder of the company. I want to disclose that upfront, of course. And it has been a while since we were talking. So, what's going on with Maple? How were the first, let's say, almost 6 months of this year?
Well, we put out some quite compelling results for our inaugural Eagle drill program.
Mhm.
The market is focused on other things right now, but we put out some pretty solid hits that underscored our correct vision about what Eagle and Telbel can be.
Mhm.
So that came out in January, and then we completed drilling of the deeper zones of Telbel, and we put some of those results out recently. Again, there were some solid hits down there: 5 gram, 3 gram, even higher gram areas, 500 meters below the
Mhm.
previously mined out areas.
Mhm.
And with any deep drilling campaign, you're doing kind of more challenging areas where it's in zones that you've never addressed before. So the fact that you're able to hit anything at all is pretty stunning,
Mhm.
given that how deep it is. But we had some indications of where to look, and we'll follow up on those very solid hits in the next program at Eagle and Telbel, of course.
Mhm.
And now we're waiting for the final results from the deep program at Douay,
Mhm.
which was testing some of the deeper structures there. So we're again expecting that it'll give us vectoring as to where we go next
Mhm.
with the next and last the next program with the deeper zones from
Mhm.
Douay. So a lot of activity, a lot of drilling. Some results come out, and we're having to forage on in a marketplace that is a little bit challenging. Of course, it's not rewarding much these
Mhm.
days, but we do believe that the overall picture is grand for what we're doing, and especially that we get to operate in beautiful Quebec City.
Absolutely great. At Douay, I think I saw in your presentation that so far you only drilled by, let's say, down to approximately 300 meters. So how deep have you gone now?
5 times deeper plus.
Whoa.
And keep in mind, this is a phase one of the deep drill campaign. We completed about 7,000 meters of a overall planned 17,000 meter or 15,000 meter program.
Hmm.
So this is phase one of two phases,
Hmm.
and it went quite deep. A couple of the holes we weren't able to get to because of the constraints around the weather. We
Hmm.
wanted to wait until things got a little bit cooler,
Hmm.
but we'll get after that after we compile the results from the assays that hopefully we'll get in the next little while
Hmm.
and put out to the marketplace. But very, very deep and really testing the deeper structures, the deeper plumbing, if you will,
Hmm.
of what's driving those near surface ounces.
Hmm. Okay, super. So, but if I get that correct, I think you could start like with a large open pit, yeah, with satellite deposits also. But then probably the intention is to go underground, right? This is why you're going that deep.
Yeah, I mean, just look at what our partners successfully did at Malartic. They
Mm.
went down with a massive pit, and then below that they found extensions and extensions and extensions, and who knows when that deposit is mined out in Malartic. It's just massive, and it keeps growing.
Hmm.
The same vision has been applied here
Hmm.
to see what's going on. It's unthinkable that geologically speaking, it's the only time this has happened in Quebec. In fact, many times in Quebec, you have very deep, high grade deposits that repeat themselves over time in various zones. So it's based on some experience and knowledge of the area generally and
Hmm.
specifically around deposits that have interesting, multifaceted geologic settings that allow for the ideas to come to the fore.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's the idea.
Hmm. Okay, let's put everything in a little bit in a larger picture. Where do you want to be
Mhm.
by the year end? What do you think you can achieve? And if we bring it in a large picture, how would it work with your joint venture partner, also with Agnico Eagle?
Year end, year end, we'd want to look at a lot of the different areas and continue drilling at Eagle and Bell and Douay
Mhm,
to press those areas, and maybe next year come out with an updated resource estimate that takes into consideration what would be 30 or 40,000 additional meters of drilling,
mhm,
and then have a plan for, okay, here's what Eagle Bell together have. It's, remember, there's an historic resource there that we can't use yet, but
mhm,
with the recent drilling, um, we hope to be able to bring some of that to light.
mhm,
It is getting zero value by definition in our story now because we can't point to anything that we've done
mhm,
yet. But I'd like to make sure that we get value for Eagle Bell because I think it is incredibly valuable.
mhm,
So by year's end, hope to have some crystallization around what that looks like, and get rewarded for that in the marketplace,
mhm,
and then have a very solid program in place for 2024
mhm.
winter as we attack some of these areas that we think have huge potential.
Okay, super. How is your cash situation looking, by the way? Because drilling costs money, but I think a lot of this pays Agnico Eagle, right?
Yeah, yeah. The line share is played by them. In fact, almost all of it. We have a year plus year and a half left of their funding.
Mhm,
Our cash position is $8.5 million, so we're in a good shape. We're in good shape.
mhm. Okay, super. We saw also there were some forest fires in Quebec, and I think some mines had already problems and also exploration camps. Are you affected of that?
We were concerned for a while, and they asked us to not go into the bush. But luckily, right now we're not drilling. We're just compiling, uh, sawing some core, sending things to assays, reviewing the desktop work. In fact, actually, we're housing some firefighters at our camp,
Mhm,
which makes us very well protected, of course,
mhm,
from our core shack and everything else. If the fire the firemen are there, we're probably in good shape. But we're being good corporate citizens and giving them a place to rest and to do their thing because we're in a great location for what they're addressing. But
mhm.
so we're affected, but not affected operationally, really, given where that we are in the season.
Okay, good. Great to hear. So let us have shortly a look on the macro side. I mean, gold is still
Sure.
heavily undervalued. Yeah. I mean, we are both gold bulls, I would say. Yeah. I'm really astonished
Yeah.
that we are not already at 2.5 or $3,000 with that whole, how can I say that, economic environment and the situation the world is in. What's your view on
Yeah.
that?
I totally agree, and I think July tends to be quite a positive month. Weirdly, for
Mhm,
gold, it has been historically, but on a big macro scale, I can't imagine. I mean, I look at what's happening in the United States and the
mhm,
confidence or lack of confidence over time in the dollar, which is only going to have a massively positive impact for gold. As an American, it makes me a bit sad, but I think that that's just a trend that's happening.
mhm,
I think it's kind of it's obvious to anyone paying attention, um, and willing to actually look at the facts. So I think there's a really fundamental move that unfortunately is going to affect the dollar, which negatively, which then has a positive impact on gold. I think over time, gold could be $10,000 an ounce
mhm.
easily, as people say
10,000?
this is the
Wow. Okay.
well over time.
Uh-huh.
Actually, in our lifetimes, Jochen, I
Mhm,
think this year 2,500 isn't crazy,
mhm,
but I think it's going to methodically and steadily keep going in the right direction. It is the best performing commodity over the last 30 years. And I think it's because people know it's a great place to store some value for the long term. So I think, given all the political insecurities around the world, the inflationary problems, everything happening in China and Russia, and it's not it's not making a really smart call or intellectually challenging call to say that gold is continue to be where it is and keep going up in price.
yeah.
It's not, we're not going out on a limb and being very inventive, if we're being honest about where we think it's going, right? But yeah, I think it's going to keep going up steadily, climbing up, 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 up,
Mhm.
there'll be down days and up days, but over time,
Mhm.
it's going to keep going to this area. The trick is getting to people to realize that the best place to put your investment dollars for the highest return, of course,
Mhm.
is in safer junior explorer gold equities that are located in safe locations like Canada, Quebec, that have a great resource, have a great partner, and have a great potentially large camp.
Mm.
When people start realizing that there aren't that many in that category, like we happen to be, I think as the risk on trade comes back,
Mhm.
I think names like us will shine brightly.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the best deals are made, right, when things are looking, yeah, how can I say that? When the tunnel is the darkest before, just before the light comes, right?
Yeah, and you just go back, look at some of the prior conversations we've had
Yeah,
over the last year. I've been telling the truth when I say that we're looking to do some smart transactions
yeah,
at these levels. So don't be surprised if something comes over the tape that you say, okay, that's what they're talking about. But obviously, until something happens, it hasn't, and I have to be obviously very careful. But yeah, the
yeah,
best deals always happen when people are willing to transact
yeah,
and people are willing to do work and do deals.
yeah.
So we'll see. But
Okay.
you're looking great.
Yeah.
I'll change the subject. You're looking great.
Thank you very much. Okay, super. Matthew, always pleasure to talk to you. Fantastic. Thanks for the update. And I have a strong feeling that we talk quite soon, because given the hopefully rising news flow then over July, August, September, and look forward to that. Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you, Johan. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Matthew Hornor, the CEO of Maple Gold Mines, and you heard it, over $8 million in cash and still 1.5 years to go with Agnico Eagle paying for the exploration. That is fantastic. And I mean, they have done already over 3 million ounces in resource. They are checking now down into the depths of approximately 1,500 meters and more. And the results they have presented this year are really promising still, and really things are looking good. Maple Gold Mines also a real bargain in the share price. I am a shareholder. Maybe you are next. Thanks for watching us, and bye bye from Switzerland.